Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Exploring Self-Published Novels on Facebook. I'm Erin Kern and I'm your host for this evening, so sit back, relax and prepare to cringe. The first book we have here is by an author that we've seen before. This is The Billionaire Banker by Georgia Lucari. There's not a material thing I want that I can't buy. When I see Lana bloom for the first time, the only thing I want is to buy her innocence. Oh boy. The only thing I appreciate here is that the captions is very small. There's a big chunk of a paragraph here that's basically trying to convince you to buy the book, but I'm happy enough just going with the synopsis. Despite all of this, this is still creepy as hell. It is in the genre of wanting to buy, auction, or own women in a particular way. And where I can see the appeal and where I can understand, to an extent, where some people would find that hot, I don't see where the appeal is of wanting to own women, because that seems to be a very big theme here. The funny thing is though, is that you would think that it would be like a man's fantasy to own a woman, a very weird fantasy to say the least, but a fantasy I could sort of understand. I don't know, but the thing is that this target audience is still women. This is something that women want to see and women want to read. A lot of women want to feel like they're being owned or their innocence is highly sought after. And I just find that creepy. Is it just me? I know it's not just me, it can't be just me. It is unbelievably creepy and very predatory to want to own someone, anyone, man or woman, in any way, and wanting to buy them or buy their innocence is just strange. It's the beginning of a psychopathic person's desires. It sounds more like that. A lot of these novels would fit into being a thriller, never mind a romance. The next book we have here was popped up on my Facebook through the page Reverse Horror-matics. Because I've clicked on these book ads so much to do these videos, now I'm getting recommended pages like Reverse Horror-matics, Reverse Horror and Bad Boys, and where it's very helpful for me to put together these novels to have these pages popping up all the time on my Facebook. It is incredibly painful to have all these synopsises shoved at my face when I'm just trying to enjoy myself. This is a snippet from Wolf Hunted by Sadie Moss, and it's apparently the first book in a series called The Last Shifter. They were huge. I'd always assumed dogs and wolves were basically the same. Not that I'd seen many of either except for in movies or TV shows. But these wolves were massive, with thick fur and huge paws. One was pure white and one had grey markings. They padded closer, dipping their heads to sniff the ground. The white one with amber eyes looked right at me, and I found myself rooted to the spot. There was something intelligent and assessing, almost human, in his gaze. West and Noah didn't seem the least bit concerned. They didn't even flinch as the two large wolves slipped inside the makeshift shelter. I'd seen nature shows where rabbits or other prey animals froze in place when they sensed a predator, and I'd never understood where that instinct came from, but I understood it now. My body was rooted to the spot, torn between conflicting impulses to run, hide, or fight. Hey, this one isn't actually so bad. There's no weirdness or relationship stuff going on, and there's no explicit stuff being shoved in my face. Oh my god, what is this image? This is the image that Sadie chose to advertise her book series, and there's a very large disconnect between this image and the snippet we were given. Beefy men. They get the books going. The books fly off the shelves when there's beefy men involved. Our next snippet is from The Last First Kiss by Jane Anthony. What are the rules for your best friend becoming your boyfriend? What do you want to do, I ask. His face twists in a salacious grin. I can think of a few things. I cross one leg over the other, soothing the dull ache between them. I can think of a few things too. Thoughts of last night creeped to my mind like a ghost. I saw him naked, every peak and valley of sculpted muscle, each glorious inch bit by bit as he moulded me in his hands like clay. We decided to take this slow, but all I want to do is tear off his shirt and run my tongue up his rock hard abs. Oh dear God! So this is another one of those best friend romances where you start as friends and then it evolves into something else. And judging by the actual synopsis of the book that I looked up here, that isn't just a random snippet from the book, it's another one of those, they were friends, then they left and they were parted for a long time and then they come back and they fancy each other shit. You know, we've already dealt with how many books like this now, and we're not even on episode 10 yet. As I always say, you can find these on fanfiction.net pretty easily. Might make this the entry into What's That Book, I'm not sure yet. We'll have to see what else is here. But I could have done without hearing this whole running tongues up abs and dull aches between the legs. Like, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. The Power of Five by Alex Liddell has a very short synopsis, which I said before I always appreciate. That is a female, Ty said after a moment. That is immortal, Cole added. That is a mistake, River declared with a finality he did not feel. He could tell right from the get-go that this is another reverse harem. You can bet your potato that Ty, Cole and River are gonna rail this girl at some point in this book. The girl whose name we don't even get. Like, never mind the whole Power of Five and shit going on. That doesn't matter. That's not what people are buying this for. People are buying this to find out if these three fellas get the girl. And probably most people are hoping, do they get her all at once? Oh, Jesus Christ, this book's name is a pun. The Fairer Hex by Lydia Foxglove, or Lydia. I think that might be Lydia, or Lydia. Why do people spell their names weird? Just spell it the way it's supposed to be. Or maybe I'm actually gonna take that back because I could be completely wrong. Maybe this is actually how Lydia is actually spelled. So hash all that. This was my roommate. Holy birth control. I felt like I might conceive just from looking at him. He took a few steps closer to me and then gave Frian a look. You must be Charlotte, and this is your familiar? Yes, Frian said. They locked eyes and Frian bristled. Does your familiar always follow you around? Alex said. For now, I said. He's my friend and protector. Protector? Yes, you will need it. And it's also advertised by, she's the only witch at Warlock School. So this is definitely the What's That Book. Hash what I said before. This is the What's That Book for this episode. The only girl amongst a school full of guys. That is the best fanfiction synopsis I've ever heard. Just chucking Bella from Twilight, throw her in a high school where Taylor Lautner and Robert Pattinson are craning after her, and just throw a whole lot of other boys in there too, because there was so many people who love Bella, and we've pretty much got the perfect fanfiction combination here. Now we have A Debt Owed by Clarissa Wilde. They call me savage, an untamed beast. I was born in the cage, born to fight, born to carry its name. Locked away, I've spent many years waiting for my mate. I'm pent up with need, brimming with desire. All I want is her, that beautiful girl from the picture on my prison wall. Now she's finally here, sharing a cell. So close, so hard to resist. But one thing's for sure, even if she doesn't know it yet, she's already mine. Rape! 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 Do we need a rape alarm? I don't have a rape alarm, but this is just rape, rape, rape. Let's move on. Sadly, I've ran out of Siobhan Davis books. They've stopped being advertised on my Facebook, so there's no more to look at. But I'm hoping that maybe more will start popping up on my Facebook, because they just won't stop. All these self-published books are just cropping up everywhere now that I'm actually clicking on the adverts. I'm sure they're not used to that. So I'm pretty confident that more Siobhan Davis books will pop up in the future, but for now we have drained them all and they're not here anymore. Have faith and I'm sure they'll be back. And that's it for this week, guys. Any of these books grab your fancy? Do you want to read some of the rapey rapeness that most of these books portray? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to check out my book if you want, review if you like it, review if you don't. I basically want to hear what you think in general. And I'll see you next time, guys, and don't send any hate to any of these authors. It's hard getting your work out there, and I admire anyone who has the confidence to do it. There's no point sending hate, because this video is just for fun. And I'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.